Hey there, my friend. Grab a comfy seat because I've just finished diving deep into this absolutely fascinating book, Mindset, the New Psychology of Success by Carol Dweck, and I seriously can't wait to tell you all about it. It's one of those books that doesn't just give you a few cool facts, it kind of reshapes how you see everything. I picked it up because I've always been curious about what truly sets people apart, not just in terms of what they achieve, but how they handle life's inevitable bumps and triumphs. And wow, did this book deliver! So, at its core, Dweck's big revelation, what she calls a simple belief about yourself, is that people essentially operate from one of two fundamental mindsets, a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. And get this, she says that much of what we think of as our personality actually springs directly from this mindset. It's not just some abstract idea, it permeates every single part of your life. Now, picture this: in one corner, you've got the fixed mindset. This is the belief that your basic qualities like your intelligence, your talents, even your personality are just carved in stone. You're either smart or you're not, artistic or you're not. It's like being dealt a hand of cards, and that's just what you have to live with. The whole goal for people with this mindset is to constantly prove that they have a healthy dose of these qualities, to look smart, to avoid looking dumb. Think about it, if you believe your intelligence is a fixed thing, wouldn't you avoid anything that might challenge that belief? Drake shares a story about her own 6th grade teacher, Mrs. Wilson, who literally seated students in big order, creating a classroom where everyone's main goal was to look smart. Don't look dumb. Learning just kind of went out the window when their whole being was on the line. This mindset makes effort feel like a bad thing, almost like admitting you're not smart enough to begin with, and when failure hits, it's devastating because it means you are a failure. Not that you had a failure. Then, in the other corner, you have the growth mindset. This is based on the powerful belief that your basic qualities are things you can cultivate and develop through your efforts. It's not about being handed a royal flush, it's about the potential to grow whatever hand you're dealt. People with this mindset understand that initial talents and aptitudes might differ, but everyone can change and improve through dedication and experience. Do they think anyone can be Einstein or Beethoven? No, not necessarily, but they believe a person's true potential is unknown and unknowable, and that incredible things can be accomplished with years of passion, toil, and training. This is the mindset that fosters a real passion for learning, for stretching yourself, and for sticking to it even when things get tough. Dweck gives us this amazing thought experiment. Imagine you get a C on a midterm, a parking ticket, and your best friend brushes you off, all in one day. People with a fixed mindset would likely feel like a total failure, an idiot, worthless, and dumb. They'd see it as a direct measure of their worth and competence, leading to feelings of utter failure and paralysis, maybe even wanting to stay in bed or get drunk. But someone with a growth mindset did think, I need to try harder in class, be more careful when parking, and wonder if my friend had a bad day. They wouldn't label themselves, they'd look for solutions and ways to improve. It's a fundamental difference in how they interpret setbacks. You might be thinking, isn't this just common sense, like try again? And yes, we have those sayings, but Dweck's research shows that people's ideas about risk and effort directly flow from their mindset. It's not just some people recognize the value of challenge, the growth mindset cultivates that belief. Speaking of challenges, the book really digs into how these mindsets play out in different areas of life. Take school achievement, for instance, when students transition to junior high. The work gets harder, and kids with a fixed mindset often blame their ability or even a teacher when they struggle, leading to what she calls the low-effort syndrome. But those with a growth mindset, they mobilize their resources for learning, like the 7th grade girl who raises her hand to ask questions, knowing that's how she increases her intelligence. Remember George Danzig, the grad student who solved famous math problems because he thought they were homework? He had that growth mindset. And what about artistic ability? It's often seen as a gift. Dweck herself thought she couldn't draw, but then she talks about Betty Edwards' drawing on the right side of the brain, where people with no perceived artistic talent learn to draw amazingly in just 5 days. It turns out, drawing isn't a magical ability, it's a set of learnable seeing skills. This applies to everything. Just because some people do things easily doesn't mean others can't achieve it with training and effort. It's like Jackson Pollock, who many experts say had little native talent for art but became one of the greatest American painters through sheer dedication. Now, here's a crucial point: the danger of praise. We think praising kids for being smart or talented builds confidence, right? Dweck's research, involving hundreds of children, shockingly found the opposite. Praising children's intelligence actually harms their motivation and performance. Why? Because it pushes them into a fixed mindset. If success means you're smart, then difficulty means you're dumb. So they avoid challenges, hide deficiencies, and some even lie about their scores. It's a tough pill to swallow, but she emphasizes that we should praise the process, their effort, strategies, persistence, and choices. This is how you foster a genuine love of learning. The book also delves into sports, where the idea of a natural is huge. But Dweck challenges this, bringing up examples like Michael Jordan, who was cut from his high school team and had to work incredibly hard to become the legend he was, constantly improving his weaknesses. She contrasts him with John McEnroe, who, despite immense talent, often folded under pressure and blamed external factors for his losses, showcasing a fixed mindset. Dweck introduces the concept of character in sports, which is about the ability to dig deep and find strength even when things are going against you, and she argues this stems directly from a growth mindset. It's not just about natural gifts, it's about the mindset that drives relentless improvement. And what about business and leadership? Dweck dedicates a whole section to it, starting with the notorious Enron scandal. She argues that Enron's downfall was a classic case of the talent mindset and obsession with hiring naturals and creating a culture that demanded employees look and act extraordinarily talented, forcing them into a fixed mindset where admitting a flaw was intolerable. This meant no self-correction, no admitting mistakes, which is a recipe for disaster. In stark contrast, she highlights leaders like Jack Welch of General Electric, Lou Gerstner of IBM, and Endel Kaye of Xerox. These were growth-minded leaders who believed in human potential, fostered a culture of learning and teamwork, confronted brutal realities, and were genuinely interested in their employees' development, not just their own ego. You might wonder, can mindsets really be changed? Absolutely, yes. Dweck says they're a part of your personality, but you can change them. Just knowing about the two mindsets can start a shift. She shares stories of her own students transforming their approach to academics, sports, and life after learning about mindsets. She even talks about a brain program she developed, teaching kids how their brain literally grows and forms new connections when they challenge themselves, leading to remarkable improvements in grades and motivation. It's not just about trying harder, it's about understanding why effort works and how it makes you smarter. Another common question is, can I be half and half? Many people do have elements of both mindsets. And you can even have different mindsets in different areas of your life. For instance, you might believe your artistic skills are fixed, but your intelligence can be developed. The key is that whatever mindset you hold in a particular area will guide your actions in that area. The book also tackles relationships, which is a huge area where mindsets play a role. In a fixed mindset, people often expect instant, perfect compatibility. If you have to work at it, it wasn't meant to be. This can lead to mind-reading expectations, where partners believe they should just know what the other is thinking, leading to inevitable conflict. And if problems arise, they're seen as signs of deep-seated character flaws, leading to blame, anger, and disgust. But with a growth mindset, relationships are seen as a journey of development. There might be an initial spark, but people understand that a lasting connection requires effort and working through differences. When conflicts arise, they're seen as opportunities for growth and deeper understanding, not condemnation of character. Dweck emphasizes that forgiveness and learning from breakups are key for growth-minded individuals. She even discusses how mindsets impact shyness and the cycle of bullying and revenge, showing how a growth mindset can help victims process humiliation differently and even wish to educate their bullies. So you see, the big message is that mindsets are just beliefs, powerful beliefs, but beliefs you can change. It's about stopping that internal monologue of judgment, I'm a loser, I'm superior, and starting a new one focused on learning and constructive action. What can I learn from this? How can I improve? Ultimately, this book left me with a profound sense of empowerment. It makes you realize that while you might have felt stuck in certain patterns or beliefs about yourself, you have a choice. You can decide to cultivate a passion for challenge, to find joy in effort, and to see setbacks as springboards for growth. It's about trading the constant need for validation and proof for a continuous journey of becoming. Drecka's wish for readers is that her work will foster their own growth, just as it fostered hers. My advice to you, my friend, is to seriously consider which mindset you're operating from, especially when you face something difficult or new. Ask yourself, am I trying to prove something? Or am I trying to learn and grow? It's not always easy to switch, and the old mindset might try to pull you back, whispering those familiar doubts. But by making a concrete plan, thinking about when, where, and how you'll approach a challenge, and by reminding yourself that you don't need to be perfect to plunge in, you can truly unleash your potential. This book isn't about being a superhero, it's about realizing that you're a human being with an incredible capacity for development. It's about choosing the road of growth, which Dweck assures us is the richer one.